The NBA news cycle never seems to stop. And right now, if you guys have been paying attention, the Pistons for the last 2 years seem to have been a team that, might be trading their veterans, might not be. They're coveted by everyone in the league. But no, okay. This year they're thinking, hey, we're going to keep them again for another season. It seems like they like to keep these guys around regardless of what they're building, because I'm not fully sure of what they could be building, but I definitely think it's interesting to see how this is all playing out, as I'm a fan of, Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. But what we're hearing specifically in the rumor mill is that they're leaning towards keeping them for a second year now, which is definitely interesting, as I'm not throwing shade or anything on that line. Like, it's not like it's a big deal or something that affects me, but we're hearing from James L. Edwards that they're thinking about keeping them. So for the second straight trade deadline period, the Detroit Pistons have received interest in Bojan Bogdanovic, who's a 20-point per game scorer. Alec Burks, who's a great three-point shooter, consistent as hell, gives good effort on defense, can play multiple positions. They're maintaining such a high asking price for both veterans that they're not seeming like they're going to go anywhere. Detroit is leaning towards keeping both of those players unless an offer involving good draft picks and solid players comes their way. Burks is scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent this summer, while Bogdanovic is under contract for next year, but is only guaranteed $2 million of his $19 million of that deal, which makes him kind of, a sought-after dude. And the weird thing about this is Alec Burks has interest from the Sixers, Magic, and Pelicans. And Taylor Snar's estimated plus minus model rated Burks as about a 10-win player over the past 2 seasons, which is in line with a starting quality guard. And obviously, some people don't feel so strongly, but a team that needs an influx of shooting and shot creation off the bench would like him, as he's a guy who's made 40% of his threes since 2019, and he's gets them in spot ups, off ball, off screens. And he's a guy that, he can get hot. So it's interesting that they don't want to do anything there. And another guy that we're, obviously everybody would love to see is Bojan Bogdanovic, who we've seen the Grizzlies, the Cavs, and Magic in the past have interest in him. And obviously he's older, but he's still a guy who's, scoring up to 20 points a game, hitting 40% of his threes, and getting to the free throw line. So a team looking for a rental or a valuable offensive weapon would have interest in a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic. It's just more so that we're in this weird stage where it's almost like they're holding them for ransom, and it's just weird. I'm not for it. I think it's a strange situation. I would have cut bait for a while, because at this point it seems like they might just lose those players uncompensated. So I think, and I do think it's interesting as all hell, okay? Because for me, I'm very curious by how this is all going to play out. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.